We bought this Tesla Model 3 from Hertz rental car about 4 months ago. Finally have the time to do the test that you've been asking me for. How far will it go? So I'm going to do the same 100 to 0 range test that I did with our Chevy Bolt a couple of weeks ago. I've made a 53-mile loop, and today I'm going to be doing it with our Tesla Model 3. Now, this loop contains a combination of freeway, state highway, city streets with stoplights, county roads, farm roads, and a good combination of roads. Now, the last time that I did this test with our Chevy Bolt, the result was 260 miles of range, with the car having started with a projection of 257, and it averaged 4.5 miles per kilowatt hour. This car, since the day that we purchased it, has said 258 miles of range at 100% state of charge up until the last couple of weeks, and it's gone down to 257. Yesterday, I also put a new set of tires on the car, so I don't know exactly what that's going to do to the efficiency, and I'll have a video about those tires coming out next week. Even though I left my house at about 10 minutes before when I left last time with the Bolt, it is a few degrees warmer. It's about 5 degrees warmer today, and it's probably going to be a hotter day. So the climate control is going to have to work a little harder. I don't think I'm going to get to 260. We will see. I'm going to give you updates when I'm at 75% state of charge. I'm going to give you updates when I get to 50 and 25, and then from 25 down to 0, the updates will be a little bit more frequent. I started off today with 100% state of charge and 257 miles of projected range. Then I came into town, took the car through the car wash, pulled over into this park to give you this introduction, and then I'm going to get back on our little loop. I'll give you updates when I get to 75%, 50%, and 25%. And the updates after 25% state of charge remaining are going to be a little bit more frequent. I don't think I'm going to get to 260 like I did with the Bolt, but I'm going to try. We're going to find out for sure. I'm going to take it down to as close to 0 as I possibly can. The Bolt was able to do 4 complete laps, and there are some deviations to those laps from time to time. And then we had to do an extra trip because we didn't have quite enough range to do a 5th lap. So 4 laps and then some. Definitely, I think we're going to get 4 laps and then some. It's just a matter of how much more of the and then some is there going to be. So I'll update you at 75%. I'm going to get on the road. I have completed the first lap by a little over a mile, maybe a little over 2 miles, and right now I'm at 75% state of charge. It shows that I've gone 57 miles and I've used 14 kilowatt hours of the battery. Now that projects that I'm going to finish this test at about 228 miles and will have used 56 kilowatt hours. And I do have about 5% battery degradation on the car. The 75% state of charge shows 193 miles of range to go, and so I should be able to get 4 laps, but the and then some doesn't seem like it's going to be much. The range estimate says 193 miles. 193 plus 57 is 250. But if I take 57 times 4, I get 228. So that and the 75% aren't fully agreeing. This is what a lot of my commenters mean about how Tesla overestimates the range of the car. Because this started at the same reading that the Bolt did. I have bumped the climate up to 70. But 70 in this car is not as cool as 72 is in the Bolt for some reason. So I'm not going to get anywhere near that 260. I'll be doing good if I can get to 240, 230. But I'm going to continue. I'm going to see this thing through to the end, on to the next 25%. Where I am right now is exactly the same place I stopped after the first 25% of the battery was used up on the Bolt. And that I hit 75% 6 miles ago. And the big reason that I decided to go ahead and make this clip is just about a couple of miles after I passed the 75% mark, I got stuck in road construction that was not there for the first lap. And it was one of those flagmen kind of things. And I was stopped for a good 10 minutes until the flagman saw that I had my right turn signal on and he waved me past about 6 cars along with the guy behind me. If I'd have been turning left, who knows? But I'm gonna have to rearrange my route. That first lap was about 56 miles. So it's gonna be kind of touch and go as to whether or not I can complete 4 laps or not. Well, I've completed the second lap, and just like with the first lap, very shortly after completing it, I hit the next quarter. So we cleared 50% state of charge. The problem is I had to go around, I was trying to find a new route around that construction so I didn't get stuck in it again. And there was also, it was county roads. It was just country roads that there was no good place to pull over where I would be for sure out of somebody's way. So I'm going to try to give you the update to the best of my recollection. I'm going to put the short video clip that I took at a stop sign up. So the numbers that you see are the ones that are correct, not the ones that I'm saying. But I believe at a 50% state of charge, we projected 129 miles to go, but we had only gone 111. We really should only have about 111 miles to go, not 129. We'd used 27 kilowatt hours of electricity, which means if we use the full charge now, we'd be looking at more like 54. The mileage projection is proving to be not as accurate as the percentage, at least at this point in this test. More experienced Tesla owners, you can correct me in the comments. That's fine. I won't be offended. I'm learning as we go, and I'm trying to pass on what I'm learning to you. Right now, my efficiency is not what I expected it to be. I don't recall what it was at 50%, but right now that I'm stopped, I can see that it is at 243 watt hours per mile, which is just an itty bitty teeny tiny bit better than 4 miles per kilowatt hour. And I really expected to be more closer to 4.5 miles per kilowatt hour. Right now, my watch says it's 92 degrees. The car says it's 95. So I don't know if the heat is the factor right now on the efficiency. I did get these new tires, and again, I'll have a review coming. I'll say right now that they're running a lot smoother than the old tires did. I don't see how these tires would have that kind of effect, but it's a possibility. But I'm going to believe that it's the heat that's doing more than anything else. I'm definitely going to be able to finish this third lap. It's the fourth lap. I may have to get a little creative with how we do it. By the time I get to the end of the third lap, this new route that I had to take to avoid that construction may come into play. So we'll see how close I am to my house when I get to 25%. Because if I'm at 25% close to it, that means I can get in another lap. And I have a plan, but we'll get back to it. Let's get back on the road. We are at 25% state of charge. We have 63 miles of range remaining. On the trip card, it says that we have gone 169 miles. We've used 41 kilowatt hours of power, and our average efficiency is 242 watt hours per mile. I stopped off at home, picked up Fiona. Fiona, there you go. So here's where we stand. 169 divided by 3. That is going to be 56 and a third. Let's just say 56. 56 times 2 is 112, times 2 is 224. So I'm tracking to be able to do 224 miles, which is kind of right in between where I was at 75% and 50%. To get to 124 miles, let's see, 24 plus 31, I need to go another 57. So 57 should be about all I have left, is 57 miles. I've got on my lap, if I just continue the lap like I've been doing, because I was able to go through the route where the construction was, it's done. I put in that last little clip how they've already finished that side of the road, which is pretty cool. I've got 63 miles of range projected. I really think it's closer to 57, but on this lap I have 48 more to go. So I'm going to finish this lap, and then I may just drive around my block, which is about 4 miles. We call it a redneck block, but it's big, big block. But try to do that and try to get close to like under 5 miles of range left to go. Anything happens as far as any kind of messages or anything like that that the car is going to give me, I will update you. I just got off the freeway for the last time on this test. I've had navigation running the whole time, navigating me to home, and my plan was to get off the freeway here, and as long as I had at least a projection of 5% remaining when I got back to my house, then I would continue on the lap. Otherwise, I'm about 6 miles south of a Tesla supercharger, and I would just zigzag back and forth between that. But it looks like I'll be able to make it home. Right now, we're looking at an 18% state of charge, showing 45 miles of range projected. My navigation shows me having 28 miles to go to get home. So I definitely have the range to get home, and I'm probably going to have to do a little bit of extra here and there. So far, I've done 185 miles. I've used up 45 kilowatt hours of energy. My average efficiency is actually getting better a little bit at 240 watt hours per mile. I just got a phone call a couple of minutes ago, and there's an errand I'm going to have to run in the middle of this last leg that is only about 2 blocks out of the way from the route that I usually go. So I'll give you an update after I run that errand. At that point, I'll probably have about 18 to 20 miles left before I get home, and I'll figure out what my plan is between now and then. One of the things that I want to mention before I head out, since I have made this stop, I have a message on the screen that Sentry Mode is currently unavailable due to insufficient charge, and my battery meter right up here changed color. I don't know if you can see that. The remaining battery is now showing as kind of a yellowish orange instead of black. It did that when it got to 20%, so if you're unfamiliar with these Tesla screens, that's what that means. I've run the errand. The car still says I'll get home with 5% battery. It's 19 miles away. The current projected range is 34 miles, and I'm going to go here to charging, so that'll show up better on the camera. 34 miles projected range, 13% is the current state of charge. We've gone 196 miles so far. We've used 47 kilowatt hours. If we add up the projection, it's going to be 230, and I'm thinking we'll be somewhere around 224 to 226. I've learned not to trust the mileage projection, but I did learn on our road trip to Amarillo a few weeks ago that I can trust the trip planner. The trip planner was fairly accurate on that trip as far as projecting when the state of charge that I'd have and all that stuff, and it gives me a way to manage it. So there's a small town a few miles past a turn that I have to make, and I'm thinking I'm going to continue a couple extra miles on that highway and see if I can make it to the next small town. It's about another 6 miles, and then turn around. Caught a red light, figured I'd give you an update. I am not going to try to make it to the next small town and end up turning around on the highway because the range kind of dropped down a little bit. A good amount of it was 65 miles an hour on this highway, state highway. Projection when I get home now is 4% state of charge. I am 7.6 miles away. I was doing math based on the minutes, so I may be fine. I was thinking it was going to be a lot closer. The car is projecting 19 miles of range left. I am 7.5 miles from home. I'm going to get close to home and just drive around the block as many times as I need to, or as many times as I dare. One of the things that I noticed is that somewhere under 10%, the battery color on my indicator on the screen changed from the yellowish orange to a reddish orange. It says 7%, and that's when I noticed it. It may have happened sooner. I haven't gotten any kind of propulsion reduced messages yet or anything like that. And if I do, I will update. I intentionally missed my turn, and there is a place where I can turn around up here. I don't have to go all the way up to this farm road. I can turn around and I can make it back. So when I get to that intersection, I'm going to go ahead and turn around. This is going to add about 4 miles. It says I have 11 miles of range projected, and the route that navigation's wanted me to go is 12 miles away, and I don't need to do that. So yeah, I'll be turning around and getting home. Got up to my turnaround spot, and the message that I need to charge to get to the destination is gone, but now it says I will arrive home with 0%. I am 5.9 miles from home. I have 8 miles of projected range. I can slow down if the need arises, and half of this distance is going to be at 40 miles an hour or less. So I'm not worried about it. I would feel better if that remaining battery had if it was a 1 or a 2 instead of a 0, but we shall see. I'm going to take it easy. 5.3 miles to go, 7 miles of projected range. We've done 220 miles so far. 2.5 miles to go till I'm home. Showing 4 miles of projected range. I'm currently at 2%. A couple of miles back, I turned off climate and just cracked the windows a little bit. I am at, well, I was at fluctuating between showing 1 and 2% battery. I've got 1.4 miles to go, and now it says I'll get there at 1%. Arrive at the destination at 1, and it is showing 3 miles of projected range. I am home, and as soon as I put the car in park, I get this message, so I'm going to take care of this pretty quick. I'm going to go ahead and plug the car in and then tell you where everything is. All right, I got the car plugged in, got climate going and all of that. Show you the screen real fast. That's the message that I get, is that we will need 14 hours to charge at the current rate. It said 13.5, but now it's gone up. I don't know exactly how accurate that's going to be. We won't need it before then. The Bolt is full over there if we need to. So we did 225 miles today. We used 54 kilowatt hours of the battery, an average efficiency of 238 watt hours per mile. I got home with 2 miles of projected range. So if you really wanted to push it, you could say 227, but that was a little nerve-wracking. We're just going to stick with 225. 1% battery is what is remaining. And then we got the message about, hey, plug me in. This is a 2022 Base Model 3. That means it's the rear-wheel drive with the LFP battery pack. We purchased this vehicle from Hertz rental, from Hertz car sales. I almost said Hertz rental car. It used to be a Hertz rental car. We purchased it from Hertz car sales. So this is a car that for 57,000 miles of its life was probably nothing but supercharged. So that's the test. Got 225 miles on the Tesla compared to the Bolt's 260 over the same testing grounds. It was hotter today, but only by about 5 to 6 degrees. I did put new tires on the Tesla, and that may have had a bigger effect on the efficiency than I had projected. This car can charge faster than the Bolt can, so in a single day, if we were including DC fast charging stops, the Tesla would get there faster than the Bolt considerably. But today's test, mainly because it was 35 miles less driving and I stopped less often, because this car to me feels more comfortable, I guess because I'm used to it now. But this, compared to the 8.5 hours it took me to do the test on the Bolt before. Today took about 6 hours and 45 minutes to do. So that's the difference. It's way less time than the miles. So if you found this video informative, give us a like. I'm going to be doing more of these. I got 2 more EVs in the family, and somebody asked to do this test on the Fiat, so we're going to do that. And I'm figuring while I'm doing that, why not? Let's do it on the LiveWire. We know that the Bolt came in first, and we know that the Tesla is going to be second because the LiveWire and the Fiat combined can't add up to 225 miles. So subscribe to catch those videos coming up. Thanks for watching.